The Typewriter Minutes family would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Now, if your parents or spouse do not know anything about typewriters and you ask for a Silver-Seiko, you might get something a little bit like this. But if they know a little bit about typewriters, you might get what we're about to show you in today's video. Welcome back to Typewriter Minutes. This is Sam. Today we're doing a review of a 1969 Silver-Seiko rebranded as a Royal Century.
So we got this on Shop Goodwill, and it's a really cool looking machine. We'll do a quick tour of the body here. It's ultra portable in two-tone blue. Has a few very minor scuffs on the bottom. It's got a really nice low profile, a few scuffs down here, but overall it's in really nice shape. Little nick right there on the ribbon cover. It's a Japanese made typewriter, so it has a feel that is very comparable to a Brother. So if you love Brother typewriters from the 60s and 70s, you would, I think, really enjoy this one. If you don't care for Brothers, you're probably not going to like this one, but we like the typing action on the Brothers. They're kind of like the Japanese cars from the 70s. They started importing into the United States. Just small, simple, reliable. They just work. Here's the Silver-Seiko next to a Brother of roughly the same vintage. This one's rebranded as a Kmart, but it's comparable to a Brother Charger 11. As you can see, the profile is roughly the same. They're about the same size and weight and dimensions. We'll slowly turn them so you could compare. But they're very similar machines. One difference to note is that the Brothers that have the metal bodies have metal carriage covers on the end. The Silver-Seiko has kind of an open look, which gives it, I don't know, an industrial design. I kind of like it. The back, very similar. Some of the Brothers, the fancier Brothers, have a pop-out paper support. This one does not, and neither does the Silver-Seiko. It's just kind of a basic machine. Again, you'll notice the metal carriage covers versus the open side. And we'll cover the features in a minute, but the features are also very comparable. The design, I don't know, you tell me which one you like better. They each are kind of cool looking. Really like the raised profile on the ribbon cover. Kind of gives it a cross between a 60s and a 1930s machine. But overall, very similar typing feel, similar typing action, similar features between Brother and a Silver-Seiko.
Here are 3 features to note. First of all, it's completely made of steel. The ribbon cover, the body, everything.
Backside.
It's no plastic, which is pretty nice.
Other than the plastic keys, but some of the Brothers later on had plastic carriage covers on the back, and some machines have plastic shells, but this one's all steel, which is nice.
Second, my dad fully took it apart, gave it a chemical clean bath, and put it back together again.
These are really easy to get apart. They use the same size screws all the way around, so you don't have to keep track of which screws go where. The body panels are fairly easy to get off. The platen removal is a little bit different than on the Brothers, but it wasn't too bad. But overall, it's pretty easy to clean and maintain by taking it apart.
Finally, he took the feet off, then put on some new ones.
Just like the Brothers, the feet on these get brittle at about this age, and so we took off the hard crumbling black ones. They literally crumbled off as I peeled them off, and we put on some nice new grippy ones. A few minor scuffs there, but overall still in really good shape, and now it has nice new grippy feet.
Let's go over the keyboard. It's pretty standard with a QWERTY layout. It has a dedicated exclamation mark and a 1. There's no tab on it for whatever reason. Probably just a size issue.
Over here, what do we have? We have
Touch controls,
touch control, high, low, or heavy, light, whichever you want to call it.
margin release, shift and shift lock.
Over here, what do we have?
We have the ribbon color selector, backspace.
And the three options are red, black, and stencil, which people don't really use anymore.
Ow.
And then the ribbon cover just pops right off.
Like magic.
It has these 2 posts right here, if you can get that. And those posts go down into these grommets. You'll notice that these are nice new black rubber grommets because the old gray ones were as hard as a rock. This one was actually missing. The top part was missing and the bottom part was still stuck on there. And the other one was rock hard, so we just took them off, found some grommets that fit, and now the ribbon cover sits on there nice and snug. Basic type basket. It does have automatic ribbon reverse. These spools do need eyelets on them. It's got a test ribbon on it right now, but I'll put a new fresh one on shortly. And you need to put an eyelet on, and when the spool gets to the end, eyelet comes out and triggers this little fork right here, and that's the ribbon reverse mechanism. And I think that's about it. Like I said, kind of a basic design, but the inside looks very, very similar to a brother. We'll put the ribbon cover back on. Voila.
Let's go over to the side of the machine now. We have the platen knob, paper bale.
It's kind of nice. It has a little hook, little ergonomic touch. It makes it easier to flip up. Some machines don't have that. Note that the paper bale does not have little rollers on it, but it works just fine actually. It's just like a brother's. What else do we have over here? We have the paper release lever.
And then the carriage release lever, except, believe it or not, there's only one.
So like the brothers, they have a carriage release lever just on the right side, not on the left.
Then over here we have the margins, of course.
Push and slides, the typical slides. By the way, forgot to mention it's a carriage shift, not a basket shift, but it has a fairly light touch, again, like a brother carriage shift. Okay, back over here on this side, this is, if you zoom in on the top there, you'll see some little numbers. There's a 0, a 1, a 2, and a red dot. If you slide this all the way to the red dot, that's how you, oh, there we go. If you slide it all the way to the red dot, that's what locks it into the carriage when you're ready to put it in the case. The 1 and the 2 are for single space and double spacing when you're returning the carriage. And the 0 is the release, so that when you're working on forms, instead of clicks, it's just smooth. That way you can go to exactly where you need on the form. And then when you're done, just put it back on single or double spacing. Pretty nifty features. The carriage return lever feels like it has an industrial spring in there. We'll show you the case in a few minutes, but when you put the case on, it just pushes the lever down. It has a really strong spring in there. If you put something on there, you could launch it across the room. So those are kind of the basic features, and we'll do the typing test next.
Now for a typing test.
The platen on this is actually in good shape, but we still recommend using a backing sheet, so two pieces of paper. We recommend that with just about any machine. It's a little crooked, so if you use the paper release lever over there to straighten it out, like so.
first, on the black setting,
You've noticed you have to use a nice steady pace on this machine. It's a little bit finicky on the touch, so you kind of use a steady rhythmic pace. It's susceptible to a little bit of bunching if you are typing a little too quickly. So again, nice steady pace.
Next, on the red setting,
there's the line lock, so margin release. Let's take a look at that. This is our test ribbon, so it'll look even better when we put a new ribbon on it. But it has nice, quick, nice, crisp typeface. See a little bit of bunching right there where I was trying to type a little bit too fast, so I think steady is the key for the typing action on this one. We did test the upper and lower case adjustments. I'll pass the camera back off, and those look good. So let's look at that. Pretty close. I might tweak it just a touch, but I think it's just about ready to go.
now for a quick look at the case.
So it has a nice blue kind of matching cover lid, which is the top part of the case. This is made out of plastic, similar to Brother Charger 11 type cases. And it just goes, oh, before we put that on, put this on the red dot position so that it's centered in the case. And then this just slides over the back. And you'll see this gets pushed in when you're putting the case on. So over, you'll hear it click.
And you're finished.
And your machine's ready to take on the road. You can see the nice new rubber feet. Overall, nice looking case. Some people don't care for the plastic, but it's done a good job of protecting the contents, I would say, for the last 50 years.
Now for some likes and dislikes. The likes include its cool two-tone blue color scheme, the new rubber feet and grommets, the 1960s/30s styling, it's an ultra portable, it's easy to clean and work on, and it's snappy typing touch.
So the negatives, the only negatives we could think of are you really require a steady typing touch to avoid bunching and skipping of the letters. And also it's a little bit louder than some typewriters. Again, like the Brothers, they're louder than some, but if you want quiet typing, you can type on an iPad. The sound doesn't really bother me at all, but it does bother some. That's about it as far as likes and dislikes.
That's all for now on Typewriter Minutes. Be sure to share, link, like, subscribe, and buy. Bye!
And
Merry Christmas!
have a very Merry Christmas.